Yeah, you know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. So I talked about it in a previous video, but wintertime is the best time for mining because any residual power burn that you use creates heat, and heat is always one of those things that we need in the wintertime. So I woke up this morning and it is, I believe it's in the 40s. Let's see here. Let me pull up my temperature real quick. Um, I'm in central North Carolina, and currently right now it's loading. The internet's going so slow this morning because it is 42 degrees. So obviously that's not like literally freezing, but it's cold. This is where I start to consider turning heat on in the house. When it's in the 50s and stuff like that, no big deal. We bundle up. We kind of keep it cool in our house anyways. But 40s and below, it's time for heat. So I figured I would do a tour of the stuff that I am going to be moving inside the house and show you guys some of my profit heaters. Yeah, come along. All right, so starting from the top, I have a mini Doge 1. These don't put off a lot of heat, but I'm gonna end up sliding this one behind my couch in the living room because that's where my router is over in the window, because I have wireless internet here. We don't have any actual cable options. I am looking into Starlink. Somebody told me that it is available in a lot of my area now, so I'm gonna check that out. But I currently use T-Mobile. But yeah, so put that back there because this is powered by a 6-pin and Ethernet. So I can hide the one of these little cheapo power supplies up underneath the couch, and then I can run an Ethernet up to my router on the windowsill. And nobody's the wiser because we have curtains and stuff to block it. So that's the first one. I've actually thought about moving this, the Mars lander, into the house as well. These don't put off much heat at all, but they do put off a tiny bit. I would turn the RGB off and probably move this over onto like my night table or my nightstand beside the bed. And then I was thinking about moving the what is it, the Bidax. That's the Supra model. So I have a case coming for that. Shout out Cruitman. He got sponsored by a company that he got his own custom Cruitman Bidax case, so I got one of those coming in, and I thought I could like maybe set those up on my windowsill or on my nightstand, kind of just be like a cool little thing. That way I could open up more room out here, and the small amount of residual burn that those do put off, it puts off a little bit of heat right there in my bedroom. When I talk about small amount, I think these things burn like, I don't know, 10 or 15 watts. So you're talking about what, 30 to 50, BTUs. Super small amount, probably not going to do much, but in the grand scheme of things, something. Now, obviously, these are not very eligible rigs to be moved inside because they're open rigs, and I do have cats, or sorry, I have a cat out here, but I have a dog, and I have 2 kids, and they love touching this kind of stuff. I just got them learned that this table is off limits, but yeah, if I bring this inside, they're going to be all over it. So those machines are not going to be eligible to come inside until I case them, but these machines are. So I'm thinking I'm probably gonna I'm gonna put them on Wi-Fi, that way, because I don't have Ethernet run to each room. I'll turn the RGB off, and I might shove one in each of the closets, in each of the bedrooms. So I have 3 bedrooms. I could shove one in each, and then maybe put one of these. The key is I'm trying to keep them out of sight, but any residual burn and that extra heat go towards the house. That's the tough part. Now, I do have some extra ones because I have that one and I have that one, and I have another one that I just kind of shoehorned together, that white Victus case right there. So I don't know exactly how I want to go about that situation, but I'm thinking at least I can get one in each of the closets, and out of sight, out of mind, a little bit of heat. Now these are currently running Salad, so they're on AI compute workloads, but I think they're, word through the grapevine, I'm actually working on setting up a interview with the CEO over at Salad, and yeah, word through the grapevine is their mining workloads are going to be getting a lot better and actually competitive with some of the newer algorithms. Aleo. Oh, that fake cough turned into a real one. So yeah, so when I bring those inside and we do need heat, we'll flip those on to having mining workloads. So they'll be making heat all the time, even if they don't have a compute workload. All right, and now coming over here, one of my favorite profit heaters. It's actually not even running because I just brought it home from the office. Ugh. Sorry, my kids been out here playing. They're learning, they're getting there, making a mess. Any of y'all know about those? When you get kids, especially if you got ones that like yogurt, God, we keep that company in business. But I have my Doge 3 Plus. So yeah, this is the one with the old Brandon Coin logo on the side of it. So people reach out to me and they're like, yo, would you sell that? And I'm like, no, man, absolutely not. This one, I'm taking this one to the grave. These things still make a little bit of money, but they put off I'd say a decent amount of heat. They burn a little over 500 watts from the wall. So you're looking at what, like 1500 BTUs. It's basically like if you had a plug-in heater set on low to medium. Most of your plug-in heaters that, you turn up to high will go up to like what, 1500 watts. So about 3 times what this would do. But this one's super easy and super nice because you just plug it into power and you just flip it on. You flip it on or you flip it off. And you can actually hook up to Wi-Fi. So this one doesn't need an external power supply. So I can kind of set this one anywhere. And I showed it to my wife and I'm like, look, it's got my logo on it. It's cool and stuff. And she's like, yeah, it doesn't go with our decor, but we can definitely find a place for it. So I'm thinking somewhere in the range of, 500 under continuous load on these. I'd say realistically they'd be, 350 watts, maybe four. We'll say conservative, 350 watts per each one of these. So, if I got all 4 of them inside, that's 1400. That's with the mini Doge, we're looking at almost 2000, 2200. So I'm looking at somewhere in the range of like almost 2300 watts of just extra additional heat into the house. And the conversion from watts to BTUs is somewhere around 3 and some change. So I'm looking at, over 6,600 BTUs of heat getting put in just by moving those few items. Now I do have more box miners that I could put in there. I could obviously, throw that system in there, but I just want to be like super strategic about placing my, my profit heaters in good locations because I don't want them to get tampered with. I want them to either work in their current situation. So like these guys, I can put those on Wi-Fi 6 because I have a Wi-Fi 6 capable router and they still get pretty decent speeds. Latency is not too bad. But then that mini Doge, it needs Ethernet. So it's got to go close by to the router, that kind of thing. So got to take all that into account. Obviously these little mini guys, I have more of these guys coming in. And I've been toying around with the idea of like making a shelf and like standing them all up, all my solo miners. Like maybe I have a really deep windowsills inside the house. I got like 6-inch windowsills and maybe have them all lined up on my windowsill. And it would take quite a bit of them to put off any amount of heat. Let's actually go pull up and see what these burn. And then yeah, because I'm actually really curious now. All right, so going over to the website over on Bitcoin merch, these only burn 17 watts of power. So that's slightly more than what I said earlier at like 5 or 10 watts, but it's still nothing. 17 watts of power is less than like your average light bulb. So yeah, not a lot of power, not a lot of heat coming off these bad boys, but if I get my whole collection up and running, it might put off like a puff of heat. But regardless, energy burn is still conversion to electric heat. So we're gonna take them inside because running anything out here in the garage is essentially just dumping the heat outside, because I do have to keep my garage door cracked, and it is locked down, but I keep it cracked about 4 inches off the ground so my cat can slither in and slither out. I have thought about maybe putting up like a board and then like a little cat door or something. I probably need to do that. But even still out here with this limited insulation, it's super hard to keep this garage warm. Like I had said in a previous video, I am going to be insulating this office. I'm pulling everything out of here and I'm redoing my entire setup, but I can't do that until my workbenches come in. So I'm pretty excited about my new computer setup. I think you guys will be too. So just stay tuned for that. But anyway, if y'all are interested in some of the Mars landers, these things were actually sent over by Bitcoin Merch. So I have a link down below. And then also the bid axe was sent over by Bitcoin Merch as well. I think those are, I don't know if, let's see here, hold on. I don't think you can actually get the older bid axe anymore. It's the new one now that's, that came out. Because I have the Supra, but the new one, yeah, the Gamma, that's the new one. Look at this bad boy. Yeah, okay, you can still buy the Supra. The Supra is $149, the Gamma is $199. The Supra does 600 gigahash. I actually have mine running a little bit heavier than that, but the Gamma does 1.2 terahash. And if you guys aren't aware, these are solo miners. You're not gonna connect this to a pool and make any profit. These things, you just let them run, and then eventually one day, maybe, probably not, but it's like a lottery, you might hit a Bitcoin block solo mining and get paid out, you know, the 3 and some change Bitcoin. If that ever happens to me, there will be signs, ladies and gentlemen. You guys will definitely know, and there'll be definitely made a video about it. But until then, you know, that's how the cookie crumbles. Oh, that's kind of cool. It's like a stacking case. Maybe that's what I need to get. Oh, I wonder how many you could stack up together. Anyway, I'm gonna jump off here. Y'all have a good one. Hopefully y'all are staying warm, and let me know what you guys' setup is going to be like for the winter. I imagine I definitely will need more heat than what I just showed you guys, so I will do an update as it gets cooler and colder, and show you how the heat situation will evolve into the wintertime. But anyways, see y'all on the next one. Adios, all that kind of stuff. Oh, by the way, some people are going to be like, hey, why don't you just use this or that for heating, like heat pump and all this kind of stuff. So I don't have any traditional heat in my house. I just have electric heat. So there's basically no difference from electric plug-in heat to running computers and miners. It's all pretty much the same efficiency for heat converted, or from electricity converted to heat. Now, you obviously do get better efficiency if you had like a full-blown heat pump system, but unfortunately I don't. So that's how the cookie crumbles. All right, later guys, have a good one. Goodbye.